AJ Green to the Patriots. Mariah, Janos here with Evan Lazar. We're going to talk all about it. AJ Green apparently wanting out of Cincinnati. The Patriots could use a quality wideout, maybe. Does Green fit the mold? Do you think he would be a good fit for New England?
This is one of those trade kind of theories that I think gets a lot more play on the Twitter sphere than it ever has in one Patriot place and inside the walls at Gillette Stadium. I think the one thing that you really look at with AJ Green, he's probably closer to wash than he is somebody that's going to come in here and be productive. But the second thing is really that contract, do about $18 million this season. Some of that's obviously going to be prorated and cut in half because we're later on in the year and they're not going to have to pay the entire, lump sum of that amount. But I think the biggest thing when you look at the Patriots this season is that Bill Belichick does not seem too interested in investing assets and money into this team this year because of the uncertainty of the pandemic moving forward and what it's going to mean for the salary cap. So I think the Patriots would be interested in some low-level trades, maybe some trades, swapping sixth-round picks for a player that was going to get cut anyways, things like that. But in terms of making true investments on this team and adding somebody like AJ Green, who's due a lot of money still on his deal, I just don't think that's going to be realistic for New England and something that they're really too interested in doing right now. Again, it's investing assets and then it's also paying the guy. And those two things coming together, I think, is a big ask for the Patriots right now.
Today's segment is powered by CarShield, America's #1 auto protection company. Call 800-CAR-6000, mention the code BEAT, or go to carshield.com and enter the promo code BEAT for 10% off. That's carshield.com, promo code BEAT. Now, if it's not AJ Green, who else could you see the Patriots possibly acquiring here?
Honestly, I think the Patriots are probably going to stay pat. I think they're going to stick with their roster, see what they have internally. In a lot of ways, I think that this season is being viewed as sort of, a bridge year. And I don't mean that in terms of Tom Brady being out the door. I mean that in terms of COVID, because getting players integrated into the system, getting players from the outside of the organization, inside the organization, and then getting them through the testing protocols, getting them out on the practice field, getting them integrated into the system and into the scheme to contribute. It's a lot to ask for in this season in particular. So unless you get a guy that they feel can just insert into the system right away and play blow the doors off, like a Michael Thomas, for instance. That is a player that's transcendent of scheme, right? He can kind of just come in here and do whatever he wants. But in terms of guys that we would see in other years, like a Mohamed Sanu type of trade, for example, I don't know if that move is going to happen this year because the players that are already in the building are operating from behind, really, from all the way back to training camp. And now with the situation that the team has been in lately, it's certainly operating from behind. So they're already trying to give out reps to guys that have already been here, let alone giving out reps to guys that they're now trading for and bringing in. So I think that this is a year where the Patriots truly are going to stay pat and stick with the roster that they have.
For all of our Patriots coverage, head over to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.